It's late April 2024, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm setting off on a 3-night solo backpacking trip in the Smoky Mountains. Today I've got quite a climb ahead of me, and I'm climbing about 3,600 feet of elevation. It's 6 miles or so. I probably won't get there till sundown. The payoff at the top is supposed to be really good. All right, that's where I started. Here's where I'm going. I'm gonna be on the Wolf Ridge Trail. I'm gonna go up towards Sheep Pen Gap. That's where my campsite is tonight. Starting to get a bit higher now, wind starting to cut through the trees. About 5 more miles to go. I'm gonna go right, heading towards Parson Bald. I gotta go over Parson Bald to reach Sheep Pen Gap, which is my destination for tonight. I think there's about 5 miles from here to there, and 2,500 or so feet of elevation left. So as you can see, we're already going up. Let's do it. All right, we got some animal sign on the trail. That's a decent sized pile of poop there. And we have some fur right here too. You can make that out there. I don't really know what that is. I've been checking it out here. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's fur all over the trail. Some fur right here too. Farther up ahead right here. Yeah. First real sign I've seen some horse poop on the trail, but there is this is technically a shared use trail, so there are horses coming through here every so often. The horse poop was not fresh, so it was probably from a couple days ago. campsite for the night, somewhere up there on that ridge. I gotta go all the way around. Let's go. As I get closer and closer to Parson Bald, which is maybe a mile or so before my campsite, the closer I get to that, the colder it gets. Obviously, I keep climbing up, but thankfully the sun finally came out for the first time today, so warming me up a little bit, but it feels so good. All right, I made it to Parson Bald. 3,000, and it's been a few hours since it started, but we're close to camp. Less than a mile from camp. This view from up here is nice. We got the sun out, and I'm gonna make it to camp before sundown, which is something I was not expecting. So this is the home stretch. Let's do it. I'll tell you, man, I've been lots of places in this world, lots of places in this country, and a lot of them are gorgeous. But man, the Smoky Mountains, right around sunset, right around dusk, it's one of the most beautiful spots I've ever seen, no doubt. Even here, as the shadows stretch over the trail longer and longer, as the sun starts to set, it's just so beautiful. Shadows and golden light mixed together. Green grass. Still stick season, not too much leaves on the trees up at this elevation, but still beautiful. I'll be at camp soon. All right, made it to camp. Let's go. Can already see there's a couple fire rings, one over there, a big one, communal one over there, another one over there. So I'm gonna walk around, pick a site, and I know that a water source is down following Wolf Ridge Trail, a little bit down the hill this way is a water source. So after I pick a site, I'm gonna go get some water for the night, and then tomorrow I'll go up this trail, and that is the Gregory Bald Trail. I'm like half a mile from Gregory Bald according to the sign, so it's not far. And then tomorrow it's Appalachian Trail time, baby. We're hitting it tomorrow. But yep, gotta pick a camp and and just enjoy this sunset. Really, I didn't think I was gonna make it here for sunset, so I'm gonna pick a site and enjoy myself for the rest of the night. All right, I'm already in my tent. It's about 9:30 p.m. Pretty much all I did was to go get water. Brought 4 liters up from, there's a spring maybe like, I don't know, 200 yards away, something like that. Boiled some water, made some dinner, made some tea because it's freaking cold. As soon as the sun went down, it got so cold. Had a fire going for a bit. Not gonna do much. Might listen to podcast for a few minutes, but right before I go to sleep, I'm just gonna boil some water and throw that in my Nalgene bottle, throw it in my sleeping bag because it's pretty freaking cold tonight. I'm wearing my puffy and my fleece. It was in the 40s while I was hiking. It's definitely dropping into the 30s tonight, and then up here it might even drop below freezing. So it's gonna be a cold night for sure. I'm probably gonna sleep in. I'm not gonna wake up till the sun warms most of this place up. So that's gonna be it for my day number 1, night number 1. I'll see y'all in the morning. Good morning, day number 2, and it did get cold last night. That is ice in my cup right there. Turn to ice. So it got really cold last night. All right, so here's what I did yesterday. I started down here at 20 Mile, and what I did was hiked up past 20 Mile Trail, 20 Mile Loop, and kept going on Wolf Ridge Trail, and hiked this all the way up past Parson Bald, which is up here, 4,700 feet. I started at 1,300, so came up all of that past Parson Bald and came over to Sheep Pen Gap about a mile further, and that's where I was camped last night. That's where I'm at right now. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to take the Gregory Bald Trail across Long Hungry Ridge. I'm going to cross it past Forge Knob, Cold Spring Gap, and I'm going to make a right on the Appalachian Trail and take it south for a few miles until I get to my campsite 113 right here for the night. It's about 5.5 miles or so. I have less than 1,000 feet of elevation gain, and I think half of it is going to come in this first little bit when I go over Gregory Bald from where I'm at right now. I believe Gregory Bald's at 5,000 feet elevation, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to go up all that way. Oh my god, there's a bee on me. And yeah, so I'm going to go up all that way, and then should be smooth after that. There are a couple more instances of elevation throughout the day, but nothing crazy. So should have a cool day with lots of views. I'm going to be up on the ridge and up on the AT, so views in every direction really. Might be able to see down into Cades Cove from Gregory Bald. We'll see about that. And yeah, then I'm going to make it to my campsite 113, and that'll be my day for today. All right, I think I'm close to the top of Gregory Bald. I just ran into a guy who told me in for a real treat up here. The views are spectacular today, and you can tell there's not a cloud in the sky. Clear skies. Yesterday, you remember, it was all gray, muggy. Perfect day today. Let's see what the top of Gregory Bald has for us. Wow, here's Gregory Bald. Look at that view. You can see down into North Carolina. Look at that view. That's amazing. See down into Cades Cove right there. That's cool. If you're familiar with the Smoky Mountains National Park, you've probably been to the Cades Cove area. It's a beautiful place where you can just drive around, little nature drive. There's tons of trails and tons of wildlife, bears, deer, coyote, foxes, a whole bunch of stuff. That's right down there, that little valley right there, and that's Tennessee. Well, we got the first climb of the day out of the way. Awesome. And man, this view is just, this view is spectacular. This is definitely a spot I will come back to. Definitely. Look at this. I mean, wow. There's a lot of spots like this in the Smokies if you're willing to take the hike, you know, to get up here. It's a bitch, but man, once you do, you get views like this all around. There's mountains for miles and it just looks like waves. I've always had this analogy of the Smoky Mountains. When you're up high enough, it looks like an ocean. It just looks like waves to me. And those are just all the ridges, foothills, drainages, valleys that are just rolling through this area. But yeah, man, it's just it gets me every time, you know. It's a place I'm never gonna get tired of coming to, for sure. All right, well, we went up and over Gregory Bald, walked along Gregory Ridge, and here is trail junction here, Appalachian Trail, 2 more miles this way. So let's get it. We have some climbing to do right here. Should be smooth after that. All right, I've reached the junction with the Appalachian Trail, and I'm going to take it this way for maybe like 2.5 miles, and I'll get to my campsite for tonight. All right, I reached my spur trail for my camp. It's gonna be down here a little bit. Let's see what it's like. So this campground's got a very interesting layout. I came down from up there, Appalachian Trail somewhere up there. I came down, came around, and now I'm right here. I got a spring for some water here, and there are different campsites spread out all along here. There's some on this side and some on this side, and they're just spread out along the slope There's a few along the slope, maybe like 3 on this side, 3 on this side, all along the slope. Since they're on a slope, they have actual tent pads on them with big wooden logs surrounding the perimeter type stuff, you know. But I like that aspect of this campground. And here's what I was talking about. This is like a little tent pad right here, and here's where I'm going to put my tent right here. Have it right here, nice and flat. I got a little table, little stump table right there, and the food cables are right here. I just passed them on the way here, so they're right there. Look at that view. Sun's right there. It's going to set in a little bit, lighting up all these hills right here. Good morning. It's day number 3. The sun is out. And we're getting ready to start the day. I'm looking at the Great Smoky Mountains National Park trail map. Started down here. Went up this first day. So what I did yesterday was I hiked across Gregory Bald, past Forge Knob, Cold Spring Gap. Then I took the Appalachian Trail and I came south a few miles. And I came to campsite 113. That's where I camped last night. That's where I'm at right now. This little stretch of Appalachian Trail, there's beautiful views in this direction and in this direction. Really nice. Even up here on Gregory Bald, that was beautiful. Gregory Bald looking out this way towards Cades Cove was beautiful. You could even see lights in the distance. I don't know if that was, I don't think that was Gatlinburg. That might have been one of the other little towns here on the west side, Townsend or something like that. I'm not really sure. But yeah, those views were amazing as I walked across Gregory Bald. These views in the AT were nice also. I ran into a couple groups of through hikers that are heading north on the Appalachian Trails. It's always fun to run into them, chat with them. But yeah, so here I am, and had the best night's sleep that I've had in the past like 4 days, 5 days really. Even before I started this backpacking trip, I was camping in northern Georgia and just did not have 2 or 3 good nights of sleep in a row. Just strange. I usually sleep pretty good in my tent. And yeah, for some reason just was not having it. I already told you night number 1 up here was lots of wind. I did not sleep that well. Last night was better. Last night I did sleep throughout most of the night. Woke up a couple times, but that's normal. But I feel very rested. So what I'm gonna do today, most of my route today is downhill. So I'm gonna hike back up to the AT, and then I'm gonna come all the way here to Sassafras Gap. It doesn't look like it's very long, maybe half a mile till I get there, maybe a little bit more perhaps. And once I get that, I'm going to take that down this way, down the Proctor branch. That's a little creek that runs right here. And I'm going to take that down about 3.5 miles, maybe more, to get down to campsite 93. That's where I'm going to be camping tonight. So all in all, I think I have 4 miles, maybe 4.5. And pretty much all of it is going to be downhill. And yeah, gonna get the camp. Should get the camp pretty early, really, so I'll have a chance to just relax and take my time setting up camp and making dinner and all that. That's what I'm going to do today. Tomorrow is going to be my last day. Tomorrow I just have a short hike back to the car right here. It's going to be less than 2 miles to get back to the car tomorrow. That's going to be easy. So I'm going to finish getting my camp packed up and head out within the next 30 minutes or so. All right, that first one's where I'm going to, 20-mile trail. Cool looking tree. Look at that mountain over there. Beautiful view through the trees. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but along these slopes and drainages here, the colors of the leaves are really beautiful. Some trees have red leaves, some have yellow, some have green, some don't have any leaves. And it's just so beautiful, especially when the sun hitting them like this right now. Another beautiful spring day in the Smokies. It's another nice view through the trees looking down at the 20-mile drainage. And that's where I'm camping tonight. I'm going to be somewhere down there on the other side of this ridge, I believe, right down there. That's where I'm going to be camped at tonight. My trail junction should be coming up soon, a couple hundred yards, I think. Then we'll start heading way downhill towards that. Another cool thing, if you see that ridge all the way at the far horizon over there, if you follow that ridge, some trees right here, right? But right around, on that same ridge, right around here is where I camped night number 1, over by Gregory Bald. Then came back around, camped last night somewhere around here. So it's cool being able to see your route from the other ridge line over where I'm at right now. It's pretty cool. Really gives you a sense of how far you can walk in a couple days. All right, well, I've reached Sassafras Gap, and here we have my trail junction. Hopping back on the 20-mile trail down this way, down into that drainage I was showing you before. So I will be camped somewhere down in there tonight. And I just want to say this one more time because I don't get to say it often. Sassafras. This is Sassafras Gap. Oh man, let's go. Downhill starts now. And just this, I'm gonna have this beautiful view of the 20-mile drainage and 20-mile ridge most of the way down. Really nice. And I don't know if you can see it, we got a cool view right here of Shuckstack Fire Tower. That little straight thing on that ridge on top of that knob right there. That's a cool little landmark. That's on the Appalachian Trail. If I would have kept going instead of coming down this trail right now, I would have hit that eventually. It's a cool place. Made it to campsite 93. This is my camp for tonight. Last night of the trip. So yeah, I'm gonna put my pack down and pick out a site. I got the fire going. Sun is finally setting. It's right there. We'll be below the hill within a few minutes. I'm really excited for dinner tonight. It's one of my favorite backpacking meals. I'm gonna make some garlic mashed potatoes. I have some more of that white chicken meat that I had the other night also. It was really good. And what I also have today is I still have some peppered beef jerky left over. I used some last night and I used a lot of it because it was so good, so I still have some of that. So I'm gonna put both of those in the mashed potatoes and call it a meal. This shit right here, man, shout out to Buc-ee's, bro. Shout out to Buc-ee's. This stuff is great. That's probably the last view we're gonna have of the sun tonight as it falls right behind those trees in the background. Today was a fun day. Ran into a bunch of thru hikers, as I mentioned earlier. Had some great views. And yeah, I'm really close to my car. Tomorrow's going to be a short day. I have maybe like a mile and a half till I get back to my car. But yeah, out here has been wonderful. That's going to be it for day number 3, final night of the trip. And we're out of here tomorrow. See you in the morning. Good morning. It's a wet one here on the final day of the trip. Woke up to a ton of rain hitting my tent. Actually had my pack hanging on the food cable, so I had to run over and get my pack down, put it inside my rain fly on the outside of my tent just so it wouldn't get soaked. But yeah, we got a short walk to the car today, about 1.5 miles. It's all downhill, so we'll get there pretty quick once we start walking. I've already packed up camp. Everything is wet and dirty and muddy, so I'm gonna have a fun time cleaning all that up later today and tomorrow. But yeah, excited to get back to the car, excited to go get some real food and sleep in a real bed tonight. That's gonna be great. But I just wanted to touch on the past 3 days. It's been wonderful out here. My first time hiking along the Appalachian Trail here in the Smokies. It was amazing, views all around. First day was by far the hardest, 3,600 feet of elevation gain. Had to do it over a few hours, but man, that payoff was worth it. The view from campsite number 1 was incredible over by Gregory Bald. Didn't sleep that well that night, but it is what it is. Next day was just even more spectacular. The views up on Gregory Bald that I showed you guys were just amazing. Best views I've seen in the Smokies by far, especially backpacking. That day was fun. Campsite number 2 was a cool little campsite on the slopes of 20-mile drainage on the slopes of 20-Mile Ridge there. So that was nice. And then yesterday was a quick, easy day. Hiked all the way downhill to get to this camp right here. And got here pretty early, so had some time to just sit down by the creek and enjoy the sounds. And that was great. Had a nice dinner last night too. And that gets us to right now. So nothing much left to do but get the hell out of here, so let's do it. Let's go. Here's a look at 20-Mile Creek from one of the bridges here. Clear water, so nice. Falling asleep to the sound of this last night was amazing. Rainy morning like today too. If it clears up a little bit, there's a little bit of sun. If you get up to the high elevations, you'll definitely be able to see all the mist, all the smoke, all the evaporation coming up from the canopies. So you know, if you get up on one of the high points, it doesn't even have to be on the trail. Even if you're on the road, if you're on Highway 441 cutting through the park, and you stop at one of the high points, Klingman's Dome, Newfound Gap, wherever, and yeah, on a day like this, you'll see the smoke coming up off of the canopy. So you'll definitely see quite literally why they call them the Smoky Mountains. All right, made it to my one and only trail junction. Just taking the trail back to the trailhead here. Should be a quick walk. One last view of 20-Mile Creek. That's beautiful. Look at that. And made it back to the trailhead after 4 days. Nice. Is my car still there? Yes, it is. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one.